This is in and out drill. The setup of the drill is one big popper or anything equivalent of big popper size. In this case, I'm using a steel plate that's about same size as a big popper calibration zone. And 15 yards away from it, you're gonna need either one 3 yards long wall, or you're gonna need like no shoot here or barrel stack 3 yards away from each other, the edge to edge. So you're gonna have 3 yards long of a distance movement in actual drill. And we need either one or two open targets. So you can either have one side only, so 5 yards away from the edge of the wall, set up one open target, or you can mirror that and work on both sides. However, if you have a narrow bay, you can just put one side on target like that, and you can work on one direction of shooting on the move. The procedure of the drill is pick a spot, either start left side of the wall or right side of the wall. At the buzzer, you're gonna draw and engage the popper, and then either move into the open target or move away from the target, depending on which direction you choose to shoot. And then on the other side of the edge of the wall, you're gonna engage the popper again, and then you either move in or move out of the open paper, and then you engage, re-engage, and finish on the plate. You're gonna have a better idea in demonstration video. The focus of this drill is first to be able to have right amount of confirmation for the steel target, basically hit or miss target, and then transition precisely while moving out. And then you're gonna have to really determine how fast you should be moving or how much ground you want to cover during shooting on the move, so that the next position, when the popper comes out, you should be ready to fire the shot. Meaning you should be tracking that plate over the vision barrier or over the wall. Another focus is that your index and hand-eye coordination is proper during the track of the popper. Meaning when you transition to the popper and you're still behind the wall coming into position, you still need to see the dot visible in the optic window or the fiber front properly aligned through the vision barrier, properly also aligned to the target as well, so that you don't have to readjust the gun to the popper when the popper comes out, or realign the dot. So those tracking component is very, very important over here. If you are running this drill in dry fire, the good part time is 5.5 seconds. And in live fire, if your time is somewhere low 6, under 6, that's a pretty good time. A really, really nice time on this drill will be just like 5.5, just like a dry fire part time. All right, this particular run, time was 6.3. I had needed a makeup shot. What I saw at the very last plate was dot was very high up on the window. So now I can say this was an index issue. The dot was still visible during the tracking. However, it's just way high. So when I broke the shot, it was not properly centered on the plate. So I'm gonna focus on good index, proper alignment of my arm. I felt like my wrist was slightly unlocked. So I'm gonna do one walkthrough, really paying attention to proper wrist lock so that the muzzle is not higher up. All right, this one, I felt like everything was smooth and nice. Time is 5:67. Now I'm gonna go start on the other side, moving in first and then out later. All right. This one, time was 5.54. You can kind of mix things up if you have open target set up on both sides. So you can kind of start on one side, engage one target only, and the next one you can engage both targets. Both times you can shoot moving in, or moving out. If your focus is backing up or forward, you can kind of combine this drill and then focus on one side more. But I highly recommend start with moving in and out on the same target first, and then really analyze what kind of pattern you're seeing in your deficiency. Another thing is in dry fire. This is a drill that you should be dry firing a couple of times, because during shooting, the recoil really disturbs your analysis on the dot. Meaning, if you're doing dry fire, you can definitely watch pattern of sway and group size of sway a lot better.